this week we have named, you have named, I haven't had anything to do with this unless people think it's a good title, and then it was all me, is What's the Scoop? We should have had a jingle. We
Sorry,
should have had
mate.
a jingle.
I got a whole basket of cheesy jingles.
Ready to go. Ready to go. Okay, so what's the scoop, Bal? This is your topic. Let's talk about it. Let's go into it because it's funny. I've had this conversation with someone on Sunday about whether we can help them do this exact process. So it's your topic, it's your title, unless people like it. Over to you.
Are you ready to be bored?
Ready.
Yeah, yeah.
Ready.
All right. So what's the scoop? Forget the tagline for just a moment, but this is where it's come from. We did a project just recently. We just needed to standardize an operation. We just needed to kind of redeploy labor, move their kind of kitchen around. It wasn't set up very well, or well, it wasn't set up to do what they wanted to do, right? And they were worried about the skill of the people doing it, having, a qualified chef, pushing the labor up, all this sort of stuff. So we said, how can we kind of standardize this operation? And one of the things we come up was, wait for it, a scoop, right? A scoop to dispense food. So that is the level of excitement we're talking about today. Yeah. Though they come in different colors. Yeah. And the colors represent basically portion sizes, 5, 10, 20 grams, ounce, whatever. And then to go with that, you just kind of put in a guide, and the guide is colored in the same colors as the scoops. It might be this much lettuce, it might be this much sauce, this many seeds, this much nuts, this much chicken. But instead of putting quantity, so they have to measure it, you just say red scoop of chicken, red scoop of sauce, this green scoop of salad. And that's it, it's done. That's how simple What's the Scoop is. Now, we can sit here and bore our audience for a couple of hours on all the various different types of scoops. But I think what we're trying to hit at is when you're trying to standardize an operation for consistency in quality, consistency in flavor, and to maybe scale an operation. And also, if you've got a high volume operation and you need to do things quick. So, like the time you turn over that product needs to be fast, check times and all that sort of stuff. They're measured in the industry still by a lot of brands. That's where you need to kind of look at how you can standardize your process with what's available on the market. It's not costing you to develop a piece of kit. There's a lot available out there. Like, I don't know if you've been to McDonald's or when the last time you went to, they have these big yellow pots next to their fry section. And that is a perfect dispense of salt for that amount of fries. And sometimes they'll do it twice because he's got 2 or 3 baskets. Now, and the same with their fry scoops. And it goes, you have portion pals, which are guns, which dispense the right amount of sauce. And then it even goes to kind of larger equipment. It goes to like toasters and grills, like clamshell grills, for example. So I think the point we're trying to make with What's the Scoop is, don't think I can't do something or we can't do something as a team, as an operation, because we're going to have to increase our labor, or it's going to need another chef, or it's going to take too long to make. No, because there are solutions out there. I know in the bar industry, they do what they call a free pour test, right? That's the metric to measure it, make sure it's all right. These things, the metric is the thing, and making sure it's available and it's working. That's it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. And I think, listen, our audience is hoteliers out there, and I can speak from experience here is when I moved into independent restaurants, and when I went from independent restaurants, casual dining, etc., into QSR, running some of the brands, the way some of those QSR businesses run is so well oiled that I honestly wished I'd worked in one of those environments years ago so that I could learn some of that process.
Yeah.
Because back to the bit that we've come on and said a lot on these episodes is consistency. Doing it by scoop, doing it by color makes consistency much more accessible by doing it that way. And I think, you know, when we're hiring entry level team members, sometimes they don't have the best English. When you're building recipes in number and color, it makes it much easier to train people and get people into the rhythm, doesn't it? And it's, you know, how many times have you had a burger, too much mayonnaise on it, and it just spoils the burger with the
Mm.
pumps? That never happens. You've had a salad and there's not enough ingredients for the number of leaves. And this is examples I've seen in hotels, right? This type of thing takes it away, doesn't it? So it feels like one of those that is like a really simple thing to be sitting there now in your car on the tube, whatever you're doing, going scoops, but it's going to make a difference to your business. And
Yeah,
you know, it's not
100%.
for every single business. It's not, you know, upscale fine dining restaurants may not use this room service, all day dining, that type of environment, very similar to QSR models. It is absolutely the thing that you guys should be doing to get this into play. And I think, you know, what we're doing now when we're doing some of our SOP projects, we're looking at how we can help operators retro their recipes to get this process in place, because not only does it help with consistency and guest satisfaction, blah blah blah, helps with food cost, helps with food waste
Oh,
as well. So the
100%.
benefits are endless, right?
Yeah, how many times have you got like a food cost report, a deviation sheet in front of you, and the guy's going, "Oh, but our recipes are right. You know, I know there's 20 grams of sauce in the recipe, but you're not dispensing 20 gram sauce across 500 units. You're dispensing 25, right? Because you're guessing." And like you said, it's not for every operation. You know, we wouldn't put this in, you know, three Michelin star, two Michelin, because it's a different environment. You know, it's all on the art of cooking. You know, we're talking about the art of consistency for standardized operations, I guess. I don't know if that's the
Mm.
best way to describe it, but that's what we're talking about. You know,
Well, it's
and
funny, you know, I always remember sitting in a client's lobby lounge, and I ordered a Caesar salad 3 days running. Classic test, right? Does it come out the same every single time? And it
guaranteed.
didn't. And it
Yeah.
just, all these little bits that when you go into somewhere and you do those little tests to see where some of the problems are lying, I would recommend anyone listening to this, if you're running a business, go into your outlets, order the same thing 3 days, and see if it comes the same the 3 days. And if it doesn't, you've either got an issue with training or you've got an issue with standards in terms of SOPs, and it gives you a great place to go and tackle. And I think it's a great takeaway from this. And you know, like I said, room service menus, banqueting menus,
Yes.
anything where you're working on like batch, um, prep, production, that type of thing. It's just a great place for this process to come into, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And like, let's take a classic hotel scenario. Got a fine dining restaurant, yeah. Um, and then they got this cafe or a bistro, whatever you want to call it. And then you got room service. The fine dining restaurant's probably not going to want to see a scoop in sight, right?
Mm.
Other than when they're batching. But the other two, there's room for that type of kit or that approach to your operation. You know, because it's hard to get good quality chefs who can eyeball a tablespoon. It's hard. And it takes years of training. So like you're just getting, like you said, entry people, just getting to grips with the industry and getting it right.
Yep. I think it's given me an idea for another episode. So
Is it?
if you heard my keys tapping in the background, I was writing the title to the next one. It's not as good as Scoops You or Up the Scoop or What's the Scoop, or it's not as good as that, but it's going to be useful, and that's what
Well,
counts.
well, you can use my toolbox of cheesy jingles and I'll send it to you. I'll send you a link.
Yeah, we should definitely get one ready for the next one, right? 100%. Listen, a great takeaway, I think, this one.
Yep.
And if it isn't scoops and it isn't, the sauce pump bits, then maybe look and go and visit some of those QSRs that do this really well. We've talked about McDonald's, great example. Go and sit and watch these guys. Troy Hooper, a good friend over in LA, who's really growing the Pepper Lunch Restaurants brand. They've really got it down to a T in terms of, and I've got another title for another one of these, but like what they're buying in, no prep in the restaurant, how they deliver it quickly, how they deliver it with minimal talent is a great example to go and look at. So homework from this, really look at where you could put consistency and scoops into the business. Check out McDonald's and really look at the process. Check out Pepper Lunch Restaurants and take it back to your business. Oh, and do the 3-day test on some of your best dishes. And do it on the classic Caesar salad, because everyone's got their own opinion of what a Caesar salad should look like. So it's a great one that people don't always do in the same way. Bal, that was a good one. I
Nice,
think
mate.
that's going to help some people. So well, I'll probably see you in a bit because we work together. So I won't say see you next time or something like that. We'll see you in a bit. We'll go and do some stuff. All right, nice one. Thanks everybody. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon for another of our tips and tricks.
Got it, mate. See you later.